enforcement.
All right.
Thank
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Move to close public hearing. If everybody's done.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Robertson, second by Mr. Hansi to close the public hearing. Any comment? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much, and the public hearing is officially closed. Let's move on to 8A, general business. Consideration of recommendations for police department personnel. See attached memos, letters of recommendation, and staff report.
No, you can wait. You don't have to.
Officer
Well,
Garrett.
We can wait until the 27th.
Up here.
That's what we're planning.
Your Honor, Counsel, Steve Garrett has accepted employment in Houston County and is therefore seeking to resign from Rushford. And so I wanted to give you an opportunity to either accept his resignation or not. I guess we don't really have much of a choice. But to personally thank Steve for his years of service to the city.
We need a formal motion.
To accept the resignation.
Moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Robertson, second by Mr. Dahl. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes, and
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Steve.
thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Yeah, he'll still be my neighbor.
Be nice.
And we have 2 and 3 on here. Number 2, consideration of accepting the recommendation to fill the open patrol officer position by promotion from within as per city personnel policy and bargaining agreement language. Recommendation is to promote Cody Bellock to full-time at grade 6, step 1. And also, number 3, consideration of accepting the recommendation to appoint Christopher Frick to the position of part-time patrol officer.
Do we need 2 different motions?
Yes.
I, just like Mike, I'm not willing to have gaps in our police coverage here. I think we do a good job. I'm going to move that we accept the recommendation to fill the patrol officer position with Cody Bellock.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Robertson. We had a lengthy discussion this afternoon about police coverage. And looking at things, looking at budget cuts, there's just basic services, I don't think we want to get by without.
And this does amount to a small cut in what we, in the budget, so.
I think that's the most important thing, Your Honor, is we're able to provide the same service for just about the same cost from last year.
Yeah.
So it's not a large increase, and I think it does show the community the continued support for police coverage. There's a lot of issues that we have regarding the village and other things that we need to continue to work at. But this will at least strengthen our position as we go forward and provide security for folks living in the city.
Any more comment?
Question.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And the motion passes. And recommendation to appoint Chris Frick to the position of part-time.
Moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Robertson, second by Mr. Hansi.
He has already worked for the city as far as special events and things of that nature, so we look forward to having him moving up to part-time patrol officer and get him trained in and fully functioning for the community.
This is Sam's recommendation.
Yes.
How many, Sam, how many hours would he be patrolling?
Will differ. He'll be put into the regular rotation on weekend days, shifts, then he'll fill in on days where vacation time or special events like the celebration and things like that. So it will vary with one other part-time officer that's working also, but they're working under a set budget. So there's only so much money, that's how many hours they work.
Alright. Any more comment? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you very much, and congratulations to Cody Belloc and to Chris Craig. Let's move on to 8B, consideration of accepting award of funding from the State of Minnesota Department of Transportation in fiscal year 2014 for funding the Highway 43 project within the city. MnDOT will provide funding for eligible costs up to $1.5 million maximum. A letter of acceptance should be provided to MnDOT so that planning work can continue to define eligible items as the project scope develops. See attached letter and tentative schedule. And welcome to the meeting.
You got an extra one?
But with the prices to see, you kinda cleaned up.
I tried, just for you, Steve. It's a little trimmed here.
Ah, look at it. This is, Your Honor and Council, this is one of the last sort of major muscle movements for the city as far as replacing infrastructure. This is going to be a very intricate, is that the best word, project? Very complex. It involves just about every aspect of civil engineering, except for perhaps airports and railroads. We'll, I think, Dean and Josh, you've got a little presentation you want to go through. We'll go through rather quickly, but what we're asking for tonight is authorization for the mayor to sign this letter that we've attached that basically says that we'd like to go forward with planning this project, and Otomo Engineering and WHKS will be working on our behalf, working with MnDOT. It's a rather extensive project from the standpoint of getting all of the documentation approved, the plans and specs approved, but we've got to get started now. So with that,
I have a question for you, sir. This will be assessed to the benefited properties?
part of it will.
Okay, I was gonna ask, it's over a $3 million project, but they're only assessed on the basis of what the city spends?
They're only assessed on the benefit to the property,
Well, that's zero, but.
in your opinion.
But on the city's share of.
And city share of the expense is what I'm asking about, not the whole $3 million.
Right, there's only a portion of the project goes in front of people's homes, businesses, that we're deeming that would be accessible, correct?
Yep.
Yep. So it's not all of the project. That's why, as I explained during the workshop, part of this project's gonna be paid by the city, part's gonna be paid by the state, part's gonna be assessed, part of it is going to be, hopefully funded by FEMA, if that's at all possible. We'll attempt for that. So there's multiple funding sources that we're trying to use to accomplish this project. In a typical assessment project, you don't have multiple funding streams. You have 429.
Right.
You might have sewer and water, but usually it's just 429. That's not gonna be the case here. So where they might be looking at assessment of $5,000. If the project was just straight 429, the way that we've got this thing funded, it won't be that much, it'll be less than that.